heartfelt condolences to President Yoon Suk-yeol, the government and people of the Republic of South Korea, as well as the families of victims of the tragic incident at Itaewon in Seoul District. The President sends prayerful wishes for the speedy recovery of the injured, healing and comfort to the entire nation as they grieve the heartbreaking loss of over 150 people, mostly teenagers and people in their 20s. The President assures President Yoon that Nigeria stands with the people of Korea at this difficult and trying moment. To security matters, troops have reportedly repelled terrorist attack on 221 Battalion Wawa Cantonment in Busa, Bogo local government area of Niger State. The failed mission of the terrorists was attributed to combined swift response of military and men of 401 Air Combat Training Group New Busa. Though, as at the time of filing this report, there was no official statement from the military to this effect. NTA news correspondent in New Busa, Kabir Abdullahi, however, reports that currently there is restriction of movement between Wawa and New Busa communities as the military have condoned off the area. The Nigerian Police Force has described as false reports of bomb proliferation around the Federal Capital Territory. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer Olumiwa Adejobi once again spreading falsehood as it would not do the country any good. CSP Adejobi reiterates that the Federal Capital Territory is safe and there is no imminent threat. Neither is the FCT being saturated with bombs as speculated. The PRO therefore urges residents of the FCT and Nigerians at large to disregard this fake news. Securing Nigeria by reducing crime to the barest is topmost priority of the Nigeria Police Force, and this can be achieved by partnering other stakeholders with provision of necessary tools. The Inspector General of Police, Alkali Usman Baba, made this known when he inaugurated an anti-bomb police station and police barracks at Busa, Delta State. Rosemary Umani reports.
Those are the official inauguration of the two edifices, the anti-bomb modern police station and the officers' barrack, both inside Abuja police station in Oshimili North local government area. The project, designed personally by the IGP, is one of the 120 modern police stations approved by him across the country. The police station is equipped with CCTV cameras, solar power installation, among others.
We need to protect it. We need to take ownership of it so that the police will be able to maintain it.
It will interest you all to know that today our father, the IGP, has worked away part of our tears, which is why we are all here to celebrate.
IGP seized the opportunity to address the issue of America's security alert on Abuja, guaranteeing residents of the security. In Igbuzo, I am Rosemary Omani, NTA News.
To improve the internal security architecture of Nigeria through a better condition of service, the police boss also inaugurated new facilities at various police formations in Benin City. Good luck, Enaini reports.
His visit is to inaugurate some completed projects among the numerous ones being executed by the IGP. The IGP flagged up several projects jointly executed by the police and the state government. They include construction of road network, renovation and furnishing of school auditorium, renovation of dormitory, and renovation of clinics, as well as the construction of a block of 8 flats to accommodate officers in additional police barracks. Entrenching sustainable drives for the protection of lives and property in the country, the IGP say is their commitment.
This renovation has greatly improved their welfare needs in terms of accommodation, in terms of classrooms. This is one facility that will add to our number, to our professionalism, and to the service of the people.
Is right thing to do to assist the Nigerian Police Force refurbish their facilities and see how we can utilize these facilities to reinforce the security system in the state.
He also engaged with community stakeholders as part of confidence building exercise in Benin. Goodluck Ebonyi, NTA News.
And the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awa Gambo, has assured legitimate investors of adequate security of lives and property, especially those who operate businesses through Nigerian waterways. The Naval Chief gave this assurance during a facility tour and project inauguration at NNS Jubilee Ikot Abasi local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Kelvin Samuel tells us more.
Improved welfare of men and officers of the Nigerian Armed Forces has remained one of the top priorities of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, and as such, the Nigerian Navy on its part is doing everything possible to align with its vision, which is expected to boost the morale of men and officers towards achieving the needed results.
I had the honor to commission the Mississippi Security Outpost.
The Naval Chief also visited the Aluminium Smelter Company of Nigeria, ASCOM, where he assured management and staff of adequate security as they gear up to commence operation.
One can say that the Nigerian Navy has a state-of-the-art hydrographic vessel which is currently undergoing the survey and charting of Nigerian offshore. To this effort, just commissioned the security outpost at Utaewa, where it's supposed to be the permanent site of NNS Jubilee, and we have deployment as we speak with boats alongside.
President Muhammadu Buhari had earlier directed the reactivation of ASCON, which was shut down since 2014 for lack of gas supply within the lifespan of his administration. From Ikot Abasi local government area of Akwa Ibom State, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
The Benue State Governor Samuel Otom has urged people from diverse ethnic groups residing in Benue State to abide by laws of the land or face their consequences. He gave the directive when he visited victims of the recent attack at Beji community in Ukom local government area of the state, receiving treatment at the Benue State University Teaching Hospital. Makudi Charles Abba reports.
More than 30 persons reportedly lost their lives to the recent attacks by bandits on Beji community of Ukum local government area, Benue State. Some of those injured are receiving treatment at the Benue State University Teaching Hospital, Makudi. While he condemned the attacks, he restated his commitment never to waver in the protection of lives and property of the people.
We're not against anyone, we're not against Fulani people, but every Fulani man, every Yoruba man, every Igbo man, every Hausa man, every Tiv man, Idoma man, everyone living in Benue State should learn to respect the laws of our land.
The governor commended President Muhammadu Buhari for his heartfelt condolences to the state over the killings.
When people in Beji were killed, Mr. President sent condolence message to me and directed that all the perpetrators should be arrested and prosecuted.
The governor also submitted that when perpetrators of such heinous crime are apprehended and prosecuted, it will deter others from the act and ensure peace in the country. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
And our first stop on Nationwide is Lagos, where Hengino is standing by. Hello, Hengino.
Thank you, Lizzie. The delay in the dispensation of justice in the criminal and justice delivery system has continued to raise concerns among stakeholders who recommend strict application of the administration of criminal justice law to decongest correctional centers across the nation. Amaka Owo reports.
Data from the Ministry of Interior, which shows that 70% of the 75,635 inmates in the 253 correctional centers are awaiting trial owing to the delays in the dispensation of justice. With this, how then is the judiciary the hope of the common man?
We therefore call on the authorities in Lagos State and indeed other states to, as a matter of urgency, set up mechanisms to stop the inhuman and illegal practice of holding charge. Thousands of lives and destinies have been ruined in this practice over the years. The Constitution provides for every suspect to be tried within a reasonable time. And if not so, same should be released either unconditionally or conditionally.
A particular individual is languishing for 7 years. To my chagrin, he has not ever been arraigned in court.
Stakeholders say beyond the magistrates informing the Director of Public Prosecution that the period for the person awaiting trial has expired, for action to be taken against illegal remand or detention of the accused, decongesting correctional centers require a multi-stakeholder approach.
The correctional system, the correctional services, and the police. These three, the judiciary is an arm, the other two are parts of the enforcement agencies. Both of them with the judiciary should come together. There should be a synergy.
The law requires them to look at the affidavit support. There must be a statement of facts saying what the person did. Or you ask questions. But most of the cases, they don't go into the nitty-gritty of these things. They just sign and get the person in prison.
The Zarifat Aid is one of the few organizations that have secured the release of over 1,000 inmates from correctional centers across the country since 2004. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
The effective utilization of the non-intrusive inspection regime is not only assisting the Apapa Command of the Nigeria Customs Service to check illicit trade and fast-track clearance, but also reducing loss of revenue. This and other measures, the Area Controller Yusuf Malanta says, contributed to the 30% increase in revenue collection between January and September 2022, in which the command raked in 790 billion naira. Michael Olale reports.
Lying here are more than 35 containers with items contravening import and export procedures. But the most disturbing among them are 12 conveying unregistered pharmaceutical products, in which most are either expired or without certification. The customs said they came in from India and Pakistan, but the plus to the anti-smuggling drive of the Apapa Area Command is that its various layers of control, aided by fortified forensic manifest management, makes it easy for illicit trade to be tracked before declaration are lodged.
You should always be guided by the law and regulations of the land.
The zero-tolerant approach of the Apapa Command has not only aided in raking in more than 12 billion naira from export and import infractions within the period under review, but increased revenue generated to the tune of 790 billion naira, showing a markup of 181 billion naira compared to 2021. The controller is optimistic that things will only get better because of the availability of scanning equipment that will block loopholes and enhance security.
If we can optimize our system and the terminal operators can key in with optimum delivery process, I think we can have at least 300 to 400 containers scanned per day.
While advising importers to toe the path of truthful declaration, the controller commended the efforts of the Controller General of Customs for stimulating the change process through the provision of enabling platforms. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates nationwide. We'll be back in Kaduna after this break.
Engineer in Lagos Network Center. Good afternoon and welcome to Kaduna Network Center. The Nigeria Police has apprehended 6 suspected armed robbers and kidnappers alleged to have been terrorizing parts of Jigawa State. Commissioner of Police in the state, Effium Emmanuel Ekot, disclosed this while briefing newsmen on the recent operational successes of the command. Habib Hussein has the rest of the story.
The police commissioner, who was recently posted to the state, says as election is fast approaching, the police and other security agencies will work together to police the state and provide the needed security for a hitch-free electoral process
Everyone that is not interested in maintaining the peace of this state becomes our target. And anyone that is dutiful enough to live in peace in this state will be a friend.
As part of effort to free the state from criminal activities, the command had arrested suspects in connection to alleged burglary, drug trafficking, cattle rustling, among other criminal offenses. Items recovered from the suspects include one AK-49 rifle, one magazine, 3 cut-to-size locally made guns, and substance believed to be Indian hemp. Habib Hussein, NTA News.
The former Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Malam Muhammad Ibrahim, has made a special case for the proper attention to girl child education as the only way to address societal moral decadence. The former DG was speaking at an event organized to support 150 students to recite their senior school secondary certificate examination in Kanyababa district of Jigawa State. Again, Habib Hussein reports.
It is now 3 years since the introduction of Kenya Baba Educational Support Program that supported about 400 students, majority from the poor background in the area. The objective has been to assist them further their studies beyond secondary school level. The district head of the area and former DG NTA, Malam Muhammad Ibrahim, applauded the initiative, calling for special attention to be given to female candidates as girl child education is critical to the society.
To assist those who have deficiency in their WAEC or NTA examinations for university admission or any other institute. Kenya Baba has become a major center of this remedial examination. It's one of the biggest in Jigawa State, and I think they made a major contribution to ensure that this system continues. The center is now well recognized nationwide. We have to support our TV youth, our TV brothers, our TV supporters, and every one of our people, either as part of the local government, Kenya constituency, or the whole of Jigawa. Inshallah, we will continue with this assistance.
Other speakers caution youths against drugs, political thuggery, and other vices that might ruin their future. From Kenya Baba, Habib Hussein, NTA News.
That report is back to Elizabeth in Abuja for more on Nationwide. Thank you.
Thank you, Sulaiman. People now sleep with their eyes closed in the northeast with more than 81,000 Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters surrendering and ongoing rescue of abducted individuals, Umaru Kirawa reports.
The retrogressive more than a decade-long insurgency can be described by volume of destruction and wanton killings that led to displacement of millions of people with continued attacks on military, civilian infrastructural targets and occupation of some communities in the northeast. Nigeria's armed forces, other security formations and the civilian joint task force as well as other actors took the challenge to ensure peace and order is restored.
There is a stable security system here and it has improved a lot in socio-economic activities.
With this now, we are very sure the economic activities of this axis will pick up.
The scars of the insurgency are now healing with Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters surrendering, communities rebuilt, IDPs resettled by federal Borno state government and development partners, with civil authority taking root and INEC preparing to conduct the 2023 general elections in such communities.
And the reason that we selected mass election in Saraka around members, the list of people that hit at work and slept as farmers and workers, resulted in the need for us to be more strategic.
Since the inception of the new government till date, they don't own one local government in Borno State, and that's what we want to improve on and to ensure that there's total peace in the northeast.
With hostage-taking and highway attacks reducing, this year alone 13 abducted Chibok schoolgirls were rescued, farming in addition to other socio-economic activities gradually booming as roads reopen for movement without security escort.
Boko Haram is already weak.
But it will disappear the way in which you label the support of the international community.
Our citizens are law-abiding citizens. Even during the trial moment and the trial period, they have been very supportive.
The narrative changed from 2015, with normalcy returning to liberated areas, IDPs camps closed, and once known strongholds of the insurgents destroyed by the motivated security forces, also engaging non-kinetic approaches to ensure peace takes root. In Maiduguri, Umori Kirawa, NTA News.
Everything done under the sun has its time, and if time is not properly utilized, value, wealth, and worth will be lost. Emmanuel Isaac, in a 188-page book, captures the sanctity of time in a climb that believes in lateness, commonly referred to as African time. Ikechukwu Ndukwe tells us more.
This large number of personalities gathered to be two judge are probably learn more without time. The book reviewer, former Minister of Power, Professor Chinedu Nebo, described as a determinant factor of who gets what, when, and how.
Some people are successful,
for some guests, including the former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, Secretary to Government of Anambra State, Solo Chukwulova, their views are not in conflict with the author, Emmanuel Isaacs, who believed time rules all spheres of life.
As a former law enforcement officer, time, is the essence of, internal security management. The cost of time losses, very unfortunately, is in terms of increased human misery, increased human suffering, and the rest of that. So for nation building, time is of the essence.
All the moral decadence and whatever you can see in the society today is as a result of not paying that attention to proper timing. So in order to do something that is out of ordinary, I consider that the idea to reinstate and also to make this consciousness to be well built in the people.
The book is an attempt to desensitize the public of the notion of African time, which is one of the phenomenal attributes of failure in Africa. Ikechukwu Ndukwe, NTA News.
When talking about the essence of time, let's join Lanre in Ibadan for more reports. Larry, over to you.
Welcome to Ibadan. Good to see you, Elizabeth. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has expressed gratitude once again on behalf of the people and governments of Oyo State to President Muhammadu Buhari on the elevation of Justice Kayode Ariwola as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. This was at the reception put together by Oyo State government to host Justice Ariwola, who hails from Isenyi in Oyo State. Ayomiku Ajibola reports that eminent jurists, including those of the Supreme Court, attended the reception.
It was a well-deserved homecoming for the newly sworn-in Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwola, as it was hosted by State Governor Seyi Makinde. Describing Justice Olukayode Ariwola's elevation and sworn in as the Chief Justice of Nigeria by President Muhammadu Buhari as a deserving development and reward for diligence, patriotism, and service to the nation. Governor Seyi Makinde said he has no doubt that the Iseyin-born jurist will restore the glory of the apex court and the judiciary.
Many things that will help me in my justice. Please, our advice
This part, Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwola, while assuring that the judiciary will continue to perform optimally, urged Nigerians, especially political class, to allow the judiciary perform its duty without unnecessary pressure.
And we shall not let down Nigerians.
In attendance at the reception were Supreme Court judges, that of the Appeal Court, High Court, including 4 state governors, among others, in Ibadan. Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
The Kwara State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) has flagged off its Ember Months campaign with a charge on road users to be safety conscious at all times. The campaign is aimed at sensitizing the public to be extra careful at this period when road crashes are usually on the increase due to high volume of vehicular movements across the country. Raliat Ibrahim reports.
That was the official flag off of the Ember Months and road work for the 2022 FRSC campaign. The theme for this year's campaign is Avoid Speeding, Overloading and Unsafe Tires to Arrive Alive. The message of the Federal Road Safety Corps is to inform the public that the road has no problem. It is the people's attitude and mindset that cause accidents. The increase in road traffic crash is however more pronounced towards the end of the year due to festivities and increased vehicular movement.
That you bought a new tire is not just a guarantee that that tire is safe. The storage of tire is very, very important to how safe that tire is. Unfortunately, in this line, we do not store tire appropriately. Recklessness on the part of some motorists and unsafe night trips have killed over 30 lives within the first week of the last quarter of this year.
Stakeholders pledged to play their part as road safety, they noted, is everyone's business. The key message of this year's Ember Months campaign is for drivers to check their vehicle before leaving home, drive responsibly, avoid overloading in parks, and not to drink while driving, with the reminder that life has no spare. Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
And those are the latest reports from Ibadan. It's time now to join Mohammed in our Maiduguri Network Center for the continuation of Nationwide after this break. Stay with us.
From Ibadan, Oyo State, welcome to Maiduguri on Nationwide. Christian community within and outside Borno converged on Maiduguri, the state capital, for a prayer rally for restoration of peace and economic stability in the state and country at large. Tagged Light Up Borno, the crusade held at the Elkanemi Warrior Sports Center was organized by the Redeemed Christian Church of God, supported by Dunamis and Kan Borno State. Paul Nkujevana has details.
It is close to 15 years now to witness such an unprecedented gathering of ministers of God, singers and Christian faithful from within and outside Borno due to the insurgency. The prayer rally had the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye and wife, former Kan Chairman Bishop William Mohammed Naga, and Kan Chairman Borno State, Most Reverend John Bognaba Kenny, among other ministers of God, prayed for the country and its leadership, as well as the faithful.
In this part of our country, beginning from tonight, in the name of the one who sent me, your progress will begin again.
Saints ministers, Solomon Lange, among other groups, took over the stage as the spirit flows within. Representative of Borno State Governor, the immediate past head of service, who is also the advisor to Governor Zulum on legal matters, Barrister Simon Mulgui, acknowledged the presence of the ministers of God, which he said will further strengthen and sustain the peace being enjoyed.
This is an evidence that God has answered our prayers, and we continue to pray that this peace shall be permanent, not only in Borno State, but in Nigeria as a whole.
Day 2 of the Light Up Borno Crusade featured Pastor Paul Eneche, the General Overseer of Dunamis Church, among other ministers of God, for divine encounter, deliverance, healings, and blessings. In Maiduguri, Paul Nkujevana, NTA News.
Access to health care is continuing to receive attention of the federal government, with the National Health Insurance Scheme gaining wider acceptability at national and state levels. In line with this objective, the National Health Insurance Scheme held an engagement with stakeholders in Borno State to bridge areas with low enrollment in the Northeast region, in line with measures for the achievement of universal health coverage. Umaru Kirawa reports.
Access to health care in Nigeria has been a major source of concern due to financial constraints, lack of adequate knowledge, among other issues militating against better and healthy lives of the citizenry. With the core mandate of leaving no one behind, group, individual and family social health insurance program, an initiative of the federal government through the National Health Insurance Authority, is making deliberate efforts to bridge the gap. The Health Insurance Authority in Borno, led by the coordinator, Ahmed Saini Dari Jamal, is championing the cause of sensitizing stakeholders on the benefits of the scheme to Nigerians, including the self-employed individuals, vulnerable, retirees and SMEs with less than 10 staff.
Bringing together all these stakeholders is targeted at enhancing awareness and ensuring effective healthcare services to all Nigerians.
Mohammed and other speakers gave an overview of the federal government health insurance and encouraged them to enlighten the people of the importance of the program. So members of the healthcare providers and health maintenance organizations thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for ensuring all Nigerians are eligible for the scheme.
Most people can afford. As such, I believe it's very beneficial.
It's going to bring a lot of relief to people that before were not covered.
While appreciating the Director General of NHIS for the successes recorded, the experts believe that the 2030 universal health coverage is feasible. In Maiduguri, Umaru Kirawa, NTA News.
Those are the updates on Nationwide from Maiduguri. Is back to Elizabeth in Abuja for the rest of the program.
Thank you so much. Let's now talk politics. Supporters of the All Progressives Congress are adhering to the bottom-up approach of the 2023 Tinubu-Shettima presidential campaign as advocated by stakeholders. Activities at the National Secretariat of the Hadiza Umani Mustafa Tinubu-Shettima Support Group is an indication. Sally Warner reports.
It is a gathering of coordinators and mobilizers from national to grassroots levels. This set the ball rolling as the group promised to demonstrate and match their words with action.
It is therefore my advice that we all continue to do what we know how to do best by promoting our great party and its candidates at the grassroots. It is only the proof that we are committed that shall attract reward accordingly.
All hands must be on deck. This is a ship for national renewal and for national recovery. I want to thank her most sincerely from the bottom of my heart for her commitment, for her zeal, for her passion, and for her empathy for our cause and for the cause of nation building.
Full support program, as they have said, have structures in every local government of Nigeria.
I don't be overconfident because we know we have this tendency to be a little bit confident because of the capacity and the kind of people that we have.
Similarly, the Diaspora Directorate of the 2023 Tinubu-Shettima Presidential Campaign Council at a strategic meeting in Abuja said they have in the candidates' manifesto an action plan that will guide their activities for the good of Nigerians at home and in the diaspora.
It's going to be one team working on a single mission, and that mission is to mobilize and ensure that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu becomes the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Diaspora Committee said Tinubu-Shettima presidential ambition is an opportunity for continuity and consolidation for national development. In Abuja, Salio Guadara, NTA News.
The new Nigeria People's Party is determined to set a new standard in campaign coordination that will sell the qualities of the presidential candidates to the electorate. At a seminar for leaders of the support groups and campaign committees, the party leadership is sensitizing the youth on best practices to achieve issue-based campaigns. David Ire reports.
The focus of this seminar is to inculcate the party's philosophy of issue-based campaigns into the various support groups who, at one time or the other, take to the streets to solicit support for the presidential candidate. The party is convinced that the qualities and track records of Rabiu Musa Kwangwaso in governance, security, and leadership are all the nation needs to reposition for greatness.
These are our field workers.
that the people who are going to deliver all the messages from national secretariat down the zonal to the state and to the local government to the world level. Therefore, there must be synergy.
Went to the House of Representatives, I became the deputy speaker. He went to the Senate, it was a two-term governor, an ambassador, somebody who worked in the NDDC. And when we could not find the corruption in that place, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, he resigned his membership. Then tell me who has better qualification.
By the time they leave here and they go back to their various states, the Konkosia movement, our state liaison officers, and the other support groups will have a common ground to sit together, meet from time to time, and see how they can support, this our campaign.
The Presidential Campaign Council of the party is to be inaugurated soon. In Abuja, David Ire, NTA News.
Away from politics, the wife of Benue State Governor Eunice Otom is championing the fight against gender-based violence, discrimination against widows, and inclusion of women in traditional roles in society. This is in collaboration with the Benue State Gender-Based Violence Advocacy and Policy Implementation Committee. Grace Ichepa reports.
In the African society, there are some cultural practices that are detrimental to widows, hence denying them of their rights and entitlements. It is to eliminate these practices in Benue State that the wife of the governor, Dr. Eunice Otom, through her pet project, Eunice Spring of Life Foundation, in collaboration with the State Gender-Based Violence Advocacy and Policy Implementation Committee and other stakeholders, held a one-day consultative meeting to brainstorm on 2 bills that will protect the rights of widows.
One sustainable way to end injustices is the institution of laws. Laws are codes of conduct or actions stipulated in a legal instrument which becomes binding on all the people within a particular area or jurisdiction as at length people would.
Stakeholders in their various submissions say the bills, if given an accelerated hearing and passage into law, will go a long way to alleviate the sufferings of widows in the society.
If there's a law on ground, it will also help at some of the churches. Because in some churches, once the husband dies, the relatives of the husband will come and eject the woman out of the house.
Some participants applauded the initiative of the wife of the governor, noting that as the society is evolving, culture should also change to protect the rights of widows and orphans.
To give women and widows in particular that leverage to be able to protect their rights.
There was a group discussion where widows from the major tribes in Benue State expressed their grievances and suggested the way forward. In Makudi, Grace Ichepa, NTA News.
Before now, the Nigerian civil service was regarded as a workplace where workers allegedly indulged in nepotism and indolence. The perception is, however, changing with the commencement of the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025, focused on rewarding competence and skills. Now, the Federal Ministry of Justice has also commenced training of its directors on implementing the needed reforms for improved performance at work.
After extensive review of the current annual performance evaluation report, APA, the federal government adopted the new performance management system, which is called also the Employee Performance Appraisal System for the Nigerian Public Service. The merits of the PMS include reward for work done, objectivity in appraisal over a long period.
We're focusing on skills, knowledge that is required, not presenteeism and not longevity. It's going to be a bitter pill to swallow. Because what we're saying is, the fact that you spend 30 years in service does not automatically guarantee you this position, except you have added value as you're moving up the ladder.
The Justice Ministry has also established a performance criteria category to evaluate each worker's outputs. Islamic scholars and leaders of thoughts have re-emphasized strengthening of unity and brotherhood of the Muslim Ummah through the guidance of imams as imperative for nation building. Abdullahi Ajia reports that this position dominated discourse at the Committee of FCT Imams Initiative Extraordinary Dawra organized for imams of the 17 southern states in Abuja.
It is another stake in the series of contributing to national unity and progress of their country. These imams are concerned about their spiritual role of molding and shaping the society and human beings as they cross-fertilize ideas with series of lectures exploring their strength of unity, truthfulness, and shining examples to recalibrate the divine message of true brotherhood.
Greatly important building of the nation, unity and development of the nation. There is no nation that will develop if they are not united. And Nigeria is highly, particularly these days, in need of unity of Nigerians.
Is the cornerstone of the progress of every society. It's encapsulated in Surah Al-Hujurat, where Allah said, we created you from a single pair of a male and a female and made you into nations and tribes so that you understand each other, not that you despise each other.
It's going to help us to elevate the status of our imams from the level of beggarliness to the level of self-reliance.
We have been uniting the people through our congregations and through our sermon. Anytime there is a sensitive issues, we can easily enlighten the Ummah. This is what we want them to do.
The knowledge-sharing engagements of these spiritual leaders strongly reminded and recommended the independence of the Imam in order to discharge the message of Allah and to condemn evils of corruption. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has inaugurated the executives of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit of the Federal Medical Center, Jalingo, with a charge to ensure corruption is prevented at the center. The medical director of the center, Dr. Aisha Shehu Adamu, encouraged the executives to strive hard to carry out all their responsibilities in accordance with the ICPC Act 2000. Godwin Inalegu reports.
The executives are expected to fight against corruption through preliminary investigation, prevention of corruption through systems study and review, education and enlightenment of public servants on and against corruption, as well as promoting ethics and ensuring compliance with ethical codes.
The management on its part will always support action to enable them carry out their assignment. I therefore urge all members of staff to cooperate with action to ensure a corruption-free FMC journey.
The ICPC in the fight against corruption, especially in the public service and in the country at large, have a three-pronged mandate which involve investigation and prosecution.
Chairman of ACTU, Federal Medical Center Jalingo, Dr. Adamu Hamidu Kara, appreciated the management for seeing them worthy to serve and promised to carry out their duties diligently for the interest of the center. In Jalingo, Godwin Inaluku, NTA News.
National Senior Secondary School Commission says it is stepping up efforts to bring back lost glory the subsector was known for. This is the fallout from a retreat for members and management of the commission in Abuja. The commission identified insufficient fund as one of the constraints hindering its smooth running, but also quick to say that it is devising ways of addressing it.
We are talking of promoting of institutional partnership and collaborations with the state governments, private sector, international development partners, and donor organizations to improve funding of senior secondary education in Nigeria. We have developed a national policy on senior secondary education that will bring our senior secondary school to a level that can compete favorably with their counterparts all over the world.
Secondary schools in the country have been operating without a supervisory body until recently, when the present administration resuscitated it through a bill that was passed by the National Assembly. Talking road safety, the Federal Road Safety Corps has reminded motorists of the danger inherent in overspeeding, overloading and use of worn-out and expired tires on Nigerian roads. FRSC Sector Commander, Osun State Command Paul Okpe, sounded a note of warning as Osun Command flags off Ember Month campaign in the state. Femi Afariogun reports.
Speeding has been a major cause of road crashes in Nigeria. With the flag off of the Ember Month campaign tagged "Avoid Speeding, Overloading and Unsafe Tires to Arrive Alive," FRSC is planning to reduce road crashes in Osun State.
Our plans is that we are going to deploy all our logistics and personnel across the state to engage in public enlightenment, enforcement, and advocacy. We are going to continue to appeal to our people across board, both the government, private sector, transport union, even the media, to join us in this campaign to ensure that we have safer roads in Osun going into 2023.
With a concerted effort by all, stakeholders believe Osun State can achieve low % crashes during this Ember Month.
There were lapses on the part of the passengers and on the part of the drivers. The driver that get drunk before driving, the passengers that are in haste to have the driver to move.
The campaign was taken round Osogbo metropolis by officials of FRSC. In Osogbo, Femi Afariogun.
And next, some sporting stories.